Hello and welcome to Nanapod, a podcast dedicated to the fantastic manga written by Yazawa. I'm Crystal, and I'm joined by my best girl Kirsten as we dissect this manga, discussing everything from the emotions, the cultural impact, as well as any headcanons that might be floating around in our brains. With this podcast, we hope to preserve a shoujo staple that sadly hasn't been talked about in a very long time. So come with us. We're waiting for you in apartment 707. Oh, so non sequitur kind of into Nana. Speaking of man hating.
Man hating.
And this does, okay, so this does pertain to Nana. I did a pop-up mart over the weekend, and I met this lovely person who I think they're like maybe 22.
Mm-hmm.
And when I mentioned like, hey, Nana, they were like, oh my God, I love Nana. And I was like, oh, cool, we can have a conversation. Wait a minute, did
No,
you
you
watch the
can't.
show? I was like, did you watch a show?
I'm like,
Or did
before
you?
you even got there, I'm like, no, you can't.
No, I can't. I mean, I still want to
Don't
do
lie
though,
to
because
yourself.
I want friends, Kirsten. so, so I was like, wait, and they were like, so I only watched the show, and I said, you have got to read the manga. And they said, I know that it like expands on stuff, and I said, it does. It really, really does. And then they said, so kind of all the men, this includes Yasu, in Nana, they said, they're all garbage.
Did
All
you
of
say
them.
including Yasu?
Well, it didn't cross my mind to say Yasu. It did later. It was like, oh fuck, I should have said and Yasu. But they said to me, well, the white-haired kid is actually kind of okay. And I said, Shin? And they said, yeah. And I said, I love Shin. Shin's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what about Nobu? And they said Nobu is garbage. Abandoned Hachi. And I'm like,
Oh,
interesting.
interesting.
Interesting. We're gonna hang out at some point and draw together, and I think it's gonna be cool, and so we can talk about it. We can
Yeah.
like actually have like a discourse about it. But then they did admit to me as I was like probing and going, really? And then they looked dead at me and said, I probably just hate men. I think that's why I didn't like any of the male characters. And I went,
Oh.
ah, see, there it is. There it is.
Is.
That's I'm like like that's different. That is very different.
Yeah, that is different.
But I
I
still want to
mean,
talk about it. So
yeah. No, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I wonder if they'd be willing to come on for like a extra episode.
I was like thinking about that. I was like, I'm gonna tell Kirsten about this because they're really sweet and
Might
awesome,
be
and
cool.
they're yeah,
And like getting
and
that perspective though from that age group of even if it's just the anime, we could do like an anime episode.
yeah, that
You
could
know what
be
I
cool.
mean?
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it's just on the like a review of like and talk about the anime itself just in one episode, not like episode by episode or anything, because it's actually not long. But
right.
yeah, I would be that would be super cool. I would like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I can also pose it to them and be like, because we want to do the thing where like watching movies and like drawing, because
Yeah,
that's all I want to
yeah,
do
right.
in the world.
I wish I had time.
I know you're doing so many
I'm doing
things.
so much. What's new?
Facts.
I always have like a lot. Either I have absolutely nothing or I have beyond what is humanly possible.
Right? Too many
And somehow I
things.
do it. It's like it's like I hibernate. It's like I hibernate and like restore. And then I'm like, okay, I have all this energy. Let's go. And then I just do like way too much. And then I
Mhm.
have to go back and hibernate again.
Right? Because you're like, I've hitting burnout. And I'm like,
Ah,
and why did we do this? How did we get
man,
here?
how did we get here? Well, Kirsten has a problem.
She doesn't have a stop button.
No, I can do it all because I can do it all. That's the problem. The problem is that I am able to do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean, see, I am very skilled and very unskilled at being skilled. So there.
So, there.
See.
Chapter number are we on?
35.
35.
Is it
Volume.
35 for you or is it 33 for you?
No, it's 35.
Okay, this is again where I'm confused. It's 35 for me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is it
Volume 1 is chapter 1 and 2.
volume one is chapter one and two?
And I'm on chapter 35.
And we're on chapter 30. Yeah, see? That's why I didn't change anything up in like the beginning bits because I'm like, there's no chapters number here. Book
No,
two
no, no.
says chapter one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so for me, which we're going to do this again, I guess. For me, chapter 0 is Takumi.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Chapter 1 is volume 1, chapter, or volume 1, Nanakomatsu.
Oh, weird.
Chapter 2 is Nana Osaki.
Mm.
And we're both on 35. So where did you get magic 2 chapters? That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I
This is
have
where did they skipped something. This is what I'm trying to say. This is why I'm so fucking confused.
they skipped something.
Because all of the chapters, one, two, three, four, five. Yep, nope, they're all accounted for. This is why I'm like, wait, why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, we're on chapter 35.
It's the Yazawa Time riffs. That's
It
why
is.
we
It
we
is.
have
Yeah,
this.
it's the Yazawaverse time space continuum crack in the sphere, flat Earth
Yep.
theory.
No. Oh no.
Yazawaverse is flat.
Oh no.
That's the problem. That's been the problem the whole time. Is this
It's
is
been
actually where flat Earth is at? Is only in the Yazawaverse.
oh, I believe it. But again, give me a world where we didn't wake up to 9/11 and only Nana
I
drama.
mean, yeah, I even talked about 9/11 today for a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, with a friend. Because I was like, "Oh yeah, the ecliptic cycle of 9/11 was the same as 2020." And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, same eclipse cycle." Understand now?
It was definitely an end.
Well, that eclipse cycle is communication and transportation. Daily
Eh,
life. It changed daily
yeah,
They
it
both
did.
daily life forever. They both changed communication forever, and they both changed transportation forever.
Yes, it did.
So. Anyway, its own thing. Chapter 35.
Yep.
The picture of Nana. Oh, that's later. Um, but the picture of Nana that is in black and white. She's in pastel colors.
Ooh,
Only her nails are red, and the rest is like white and pink and purple, blue, like a purple blue muted. It's all muted tones.
nice.
Yeah. You want to start?
Sure. I'll do the thing where I'm like, where are we changing over? I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So, we have a picture here of Tokyo. Um, and we have the thought boxes, which are Nana, and saying, it's not like anything super serious or horrible happened to raise anyone's eyebrows. Some weird live footage shadowed a peaceful morning, revealing a scandalous singer with caked on makeup. It definitely had an effect, but I thought we could win. And now we have, I think, girls in a bathroom, like high school girls. We got some slouchy socks girls. Here they are. And they're everyone's going to be talking now. Like a lot of goings on. They're like, "Hey, did you see it on TV? Today's 7 in the morning." And another girl says, "Yeah, Nana." And another girl, slouchy sock girl, says, "Who's Nana?" And they're like, "Friend's girlfriend." "Yeah, and I'm pissed," says the other girl. "No way," says other slouchy sock girl. "What's she like?" And now we cut over to a classroom, and I think it's a completely different school of a whole bunch of students chatting because their uniforms are different. And there's this dude, and he's like, "She's a total bitch." And this other girl's like, "Huh? Why?" And another girl says, but she's super hot. And another girl's like, I want to see. And then there's this other student, and he's like, you think she's hot? She looks mean. I think she put a curse on me. And another guy with a sweat drop says, what curse? And then we cut over to like these little gossip ladies, like older ladies, and they're gossiping outside their houses. And one of them says, trying to get famous through her boyfriend. Young girls these days have no shame. And another lady says, it's unforgivable. Poor Ren. And this other woman with like glasses and an apron is like, excuse me, are you talking about Ren Hanjo? I'm a big fan of his. Ever since I saw his canned coffee commercial. He's so cool. Heart. Can't imagine Ren doing a
They
can.
changed the direction of insults in yours.
Oh, did they? Are
Yeah.
yours better or worse?
I mean, okay, so like that's the using men to gain fame, young girls these days, blah blah blah. But then it's like
Mhm.
she can't be forgiven. She lied to Ren.
Mm.
And then the other lady's like, "Oh, so you're one of Ren's fans too?" And then she talks about like the coffee commercial and how she became, but like the whole like she can't be forgiven. She lied to Ren. Like that's different.
Hmm.
Also, how did she lie to Ren?
Right? What's this lady?
Housewife lady,
Right?
husband street lady,
She's making up stories in her head.
right? She's jealous.
Oh,
Everybody's jealous.
everybody's jelly. And now we have these three girls, like, what are they, like middle schoolers?
I mean,
On,
yeah, they're definitely in middle school.
yeah, and I think that looks like a volleyball, but they're like taking a time out to like, you know, gossip
Gossip.
about.
They're like
Mhm.
in a bush.
Right. They are. And one girl, she's like really, it's like she's blushing and she's like the
Yeah, they're
bass,
all yelling.
right? They're all screaming. One's like the bass player. Now, he's really cute. What's his name? Who cares about Nana? I mean, really, really. And another girl, little girl says, what about the guitar player? Who cares about the bassist? And the other girl says, I totally missed it. What's their band called? And now we cut to a flower shop, and this old guy is like holding a flower, and he's got the creepy
Uh,
glasses that Kirsten hates.
he's got the shiny glasses.
And he looks at his assistant, and he's like, "Why don't you make your own flowers bloom?" Because he's quoting Yasu.
Oh my god, no, mine it says my flowers sprout from my head. The bald guy said that.
He did.
Uh-huh.
And the lady who's working with him is like, "Excuse me, what are you talking about?" And then we have a picture of it's like I don't know if this is like an internet cafe or just a bunch of people.
I think it's like I I feel like um I feel it might be like an internet cafe, but I also feel like it's like a college lounge. Do
That
you know what
makes
I
sense.
mean? Like
Yeah.
based on how they're like dressed, but also there's like stuff on the walls that's like informational, so I feel like it's more of a school setting.
That makes sense. Yeah. But these kids are like frantically typing in Blackstones. And this one kid with like a golfer's hat is like, don't they have a website? How could Blackstones not have one? Every band has to have a website if they want to get anywhere. And this other girl is like, they're not listed on Gaia's website either. It's so weird. And then this other dude wearing a beanie is like, what are you guys searching for? Bored much? And then golfer hat dude is like, but there's only tabloid gossip on Blackstones. Nothing official anywhere. It just makes you want to know. They did this on purpose. Are they making us dance to their tune?
Oh my god. No.
No.
Because if rumor sprouts and they don't try to clarify anything, doesn't that make it all seem even more suspicious? Is this part of their plan? But like also, how much time has it been?
God, I don't know. Like the morning, it happened at like 7. It's probably now like
Yeah, it's
what?
still the same day, and you expect like there to be information for you when
Yes.
they weren't even debuted yet. right? Like it.
Yeah.
Mm. So, like, if anything, it makes it, I think, less suspicious in the way that they're trying to use it. Because, like, if it was planned, if it was organized, then Gaia would have already had something to just hit a button and it would be up.
Right.
But because there isn't anything, it means that it wasn't supposed to happen.
See what happens when you're in college? Sometimes you're so tired, you're like, I'm not using my full capacity
Sometimes you're
brain.
unskilled.
Sometimes you're unskilled. It's true.
Oh, God.
So we cut over to it's like the office of Gaia, and a phone's going ring, and someone's like, "Hello, Gaia Records, blah blah blah." Another person's like, "I'm sorry, we don't have a release date yet on their single." And another phone goes ring. It says, "We'll make an official announcement once the deals or once the details are all set." And then there's a tap of a cigarette as we have like a scene change. That was a lot of scene
Dun, dun,
changes.
dun, dun. No, but like that, it was also the same.
Mm-hmm.
It was also, it wasn't like we were jumping from room to, well, we were, but not with characters. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that one time where I was like, no, we have to keep switching because we kept bouncing back and forth from characters and we had already been reading the long bits of those characters. And my brain just like, I guess, I don't know. I figure things out really quickly in my brain. I'm sorry. My
Fair.
pattern recognition is just ridiculous. I hate it.
Oh, take it back.
Take it back. Take it back. I want to be unskilled. Like I feel like using skilled and unskilled. Man, I can't get this out of my head. It's like saying like like it's like saying, you know how it used to be that like the term lame meant not a good thing?
Yeah.
Saying people are unskilled is like saying they're lame. Like in the
Yeah.
bad way, not in like a not in a modern way, but yeah.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah, it's just gonna eat at me. It's okay because someday I will be through all of these courses and then I can talk on it.
Fair.
Let it build up. Okay. So we're in like an office and it's Gaia's office. And the phones are ringing off the hook. Everybody is like super busy, like answering the phones. And so they're saying, hello, Gaia company. Hello, Gaia company. And then they're like, hi. And another person is like, I'm sorry. And there's noise, noise, noise in the background and ring, ring, rings. And then or that same person who says, I'm sorry, is like, but the date for the release of the new single has not been set yet. And then there's another person who's on the phone and is like, details will be announced once the date has been decided. So, like, quite literally, like, this obviously wasn't supposed to happen. Did you already read
Mm-hmm.
that part?
Yeah, but it's fine.
Oh, yeah, the tap, tap, tap of the cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
I, I was stuck on skilled and unskilled again. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
My brain is in the land of hating words, okay? This is where we live.
Wow.
Uh,
This
and
land
so,
sure is peppered with a lot of words that Kirsten's put behind bars for some reason.
look at the landscape.
The landscape.
Uh,
It's like a
it's
petting
just like
zoo for
words.
words.
It's like words on fire. Yeah. And then like it's a zoo of like different words. And it's like, this one's wild. This one's all right.
Don't touch that
Oh
one, it's
no.
venomous.
Don't touch that one. Don't go in that room at all. That's quarantined.
Quarantine.
Those ones are sick.
Oh no.
Uh, so it's the producer guy. He's the one smoking, and he's got rectangle glasses too. See?
Yep.
See? And he's like, Kawana, we can't just leave it alone. There are a lot of phone calls outside. It won't stop ringing. Everyone is working hard. We had a meeting this afternoon. It's decided that they'll start recording right away. And so old manager dude, he's super cool. I like him. I'm a fan.
Same.
He's like, what kind of joke is this? Using this kind of news to make them famous? I don't know what to say anymore. When this magazine gets released tomorrow, Nana is going to have a heart attack. She had this kind of talent, but having this tabloid will change and ruin everything. It's all about getting the upper hand and benefiting. You're probably used to seeing this happen by now. And that
Mm.
was actually a question I just didn't inflect properly. And old man was asking that to greasy producer man. He's not actually greasy. It's just I didn't like what Shin overheard about him. So, I'm still a little like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, he doesn't have their best interest. He just cares
Mm.
about the dollar.
Yeah,
Um,
they
and so,
change stuff on my end.
oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, well, yours sounds more like, I guess, really more concerned, whereas my like this, this guy's smoking. He's like, we have no choice but to move forward with this, Mr. Kawano. The phones have been ringing off the hook. Everyone suddenly changed their minds. They want to go for it. At the emergency meeting this afternoon, they're going to push to make a blast record as soon as possible. And then our sweet older producer guy is like, I don't know. Even if they blow up with this tabloid crap, it's just a setup. When this magazine hits the stands tomorrow, Nana will get bashed even more. Matsuo, you've seen good musicians whose careers were destroyed by relentless slander and major labels that only care about the bottom line,
Mm,
which I feel is totally just completely different.
yeah, it's like on your end, it's like capitalist urgency.
Mm-hmm.
And on my end, it's like, well, we have a problem, we have to solve it.
Yeah, and he sounds more concerned for Nana, like
I
actually
mean, yeah, because the
concerned.
old manager man is concerned for Nana.
Mm-hmm.
Like he
Doesn't,
does care. He found them. And
yeah,
he found them and he heard their fans first.
right.
He has a different tie to them. The
Mm-hmm.
producer doesn't know that. The producer doesn't know how much Nana means to her fans.
Mm-hmm.
The manager does. The
Yeah,
manager's seen it in person. The producer hasn't,
yeah.
right? But yeah, he is like, because he says Nana's going to have a heart attack.
Right? I'm like, oh, I don't get a heart attack in mine. It's just like, oh, Nana's just gonna get bashed. I'm like, I like
Yeah,
yours
and he
better because
points
he
out like
sounds
her
worried.
talent. He points out her talent and that it shouldn't be ruined by this.
Mm-hmm.
But see, then like, and that would also change why the producer guy like kind of makes a side glance. In yours, it's a very different meaning to the side glance. In
Mm-hmm.
mine, I read that side glance as a note of empathy. In
Mm-hmm.
yours, it would probably be read as more of like a geez.
Yeah, it's well, yeah, it's kind of more of a like, we're gonna be losing money, or
Yeah. Whereas for me, it looks empathetic, right?
yeah, it does.
Um, and so then the producer guy goes on to say, but if you don't want to be in charge, then there's no point discussing this further. For now, it's best to just do as they say. Your noble way of thinking will only get you kicked out of Gaia. The fact that they never told you about this plan of theirs ahead of time is the best proof. Who? Gaia didn't have this plan,
I know. I was wondering if it was gonna be different in yours because I'm just like, wait a minute, they're making it sound like Gaia knew
but maybe they
about.
did.
Maybe they did.
Oh, but didn't the Doctor Mosquito
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Mosquito didn't he say that he like threatened them or whatever?
I know he said that he like sold stuff and things like that, but
Mm,
I don't know if he threatened, but that doesn't mean that someone at Gaia didn't, like wasn't in on
okay,
the selling.
okay. He goes on to say, "We're not the only ones who are suspecting. Anyone in the industry would be able to see that there's something going on." And that show that aired the clip, Gaia's clearly related to it. Gaia's always been connected to a few of those shows. They just wanted to put it on the news and make it big. Oh, so I think, okay, okay. So I have a theory then.
Okay. Theory.
I think that the producer guy is assuming that Gaia knew about it and doesn't actually have proof.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so now he's telling the manager that Gaia did do it even though they may not have. Like he doesn't know for sure,
Hmm.
right? That like we're not the only ones who are suspecting.
Mm-hmm.
right, then that means it is a suspicion. It is not a truth.
Right.
I'm going to keep going if that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
It says things have started moving. No one can get off the wagon now. And then it goes to Nana, and she's probably chain smoking. I mean, they made an effort. Like, Yazawa made an effort to show a lot of cigarettes in this ashtray, which isn't
Yeah.
usual.
Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's putting out her sixth cigarette.
8, 8. I count 8.
You count 8? Okay,
I count 8.
I just don't know if they're folded up, if that makes a 1.
Uh-uh. 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 I count 8.
How many are in a pack?
20.
20. Okay, so
Chain smoking.
change smoking.
Um, and she looks stressed, and she's like, I really got to keep close watch on him. That old geezer's really got some nerve. She's talking to Masato,
Mm-hmm.
and Shin is just like laying on the bed, and they're in a hotel, a very small hotel room, by the way. And Shin is also smoking, so you better believe that room's probably smoky. But also, everybody in Japan seems to smoke inside. I feel like they have better ventilation. Like they know that
Probably.
it's gonna happen, and so they just have better ventilation.
Fair.
Um, like in general, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's true. If you know if it's true, please tell me.
Right.
It says giving us this kind of room, he should have at least given us a honeymoon suite or something more luxurious. That's what she's actually upset about. And Asato's like, exactly. So inconsiderate.
She only
And
wants
Shin
the
is,
best for her girl.
I know, right? And Shin is like, really? Uh, we didn't do much for Gaia Music yet. Well, at least they gave us a room. That's already quite generous. And then it pans over, and Shin has like weird little tears. Like his eyes are closed, and he's got these two little tears, and he kind of looks like a French clown.
Mm-hmm.
What are they called?
Piero, Pierrette is the
Yeah,
girl, and Piero is the boy.
there we go. Yeah, they kind of looks like that. Um, and he's like, but I wish they had picked a place with room service. I'm so hungry. And so Masato's like, shall I go buy something? Sushi. She's like, okay. And so she gets ready to go, and she's all cheery. And the door is open, and she bumps into Yasu. She says, I'm going now then, and bump. And Yasu looks like really shocked. He's got no mouth. And then he's got a little
Mm-hmm.
sweat bead, and he says, Masato? And like he like yells it, like, and she like
Right.
looks scared.
Right. Look at that, like dramatic, like
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
I've been
uh-huh.
found out.
I've been researching you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so Masato's like, welcome back, Yasu. How's Gaia? And Yasu looks stressed, and he's like, why are you here? No school.
Mm-hmm.
And Nana's
Allegedly.
like, right? Allegedly. Nana's like, she saw this morning's wide show and got all worried, so she came here right away. Masato's sweet, huh? And Masato's like, since Nana seems all right, I'm not as worried now, heart. My lovely Nana.
Hmm.
And so Yasu's like, you're good. You even knew which hotel we're at. And he looks like kind of nervous. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's thinking to himself, she really is our biggest fan.
Yeah.
Masato's like, no, that's because Shin sent me a message telling me. So now Nana looks at Shin and is like, you sent a message? And Shin's like, because I knew she'd come. And
Right.
Shin's like, right? Shin's like, Masato said she'll be staying here. And since we can't go out too much, there are a lot of things we'll need Masato can help us with. Masato's like, I'm in 712. If you need anything, just give me a call. Yasu's like, but what about school?
It's that second time he's like, but
Well, the first time
school.
he thought it,
Mm,
he thought it. Now he's saying it out loud, and he's like, that you don't have to worry about?
yeah, she says that, and he's like, what do you, the dot, 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 what do you
Excuse
mean?
me. As Nishimoto-san. I know, right? He's just like, what the fuck is going on? And
Right.
like the thing is though is like Yasu can go out. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Everybody's scared of Yasu.
Yeah, because he told people to grow plants from their heads.
I know. The big bad threat. Grow plants from your head.
Yes.
Oh my god. Um so like he has this gift and it's from Nishimoto-san from Gaia and he's like, "Masato, do you want to eat my share?" And so now we know it's food.
Hmm.
Um and Shin is like, "Yay, something to eat." And Misato's like, "No, I can't do that." And Yasu's like, "Actually, I just had lunch with Kawana-san, so I'm still full. Good thing you're here. Go ahead. Don't hold back." And now, like, Masato looks like flustered or like flushed. And she's like, "Thank you. I'm so sorry. Always eating your stuff." And Shin's like, "Go make tea." And he like takes the bag, "Go make tea."
Right?
And like, and Nana's like, who's Nishimoto? And Yasu's like, head of production department. He was the one that was at one of our recordings. And Nana's like trying to remember, and she's like, ooh, but so many people have visited. I can't remember every single one of them. What does he look like? And Shin is like, the one who looks like a fox. Oh, no. Yeah, because Shin does not like him.
Nope.
No. And so now Yasu just starts cracking up laughing. And then Nana is like visualizing this and she's like, fox. And so like in her head there's like a little fox and there's a little
Hmm.
raccoon. The raccoon is old man manager. Old
Hmm.
manager man. I
It's
love
super
it. I
cute.
love it. Like that's very
Right?
Hachi of her. It's very Hachi of her.
It really is.
And so now she's like freaking out and like the leaves are falling out of her dream and she's yelling, "What kind of tricks are Gaia trying to play now? What the hell?" And then Shin opens it and it's sushi. And she's like, "Nana," he's like, "Nana, this sushi's awesome, different flavor."
It's fancy tuna.
And now there's like, yeah, and now there's like fish flying through the air, and Nana's a cat. And
Yep.
Masato is like in shock, and so is Dada. And then she's like, "Nishimoto-san is pretty nice. I'm giving Fox-san a vote." Yasu's in the back, just like, this
Right.
is weird." And Nana's like, "They're giving us this kind of food? That means." Masato's like, "The group will be officially formed soon." And Yasu's like, "Correct. Thanks to all those new reports." And Shin is like, "What an obvious thing for the fox to do." Oh god. Masato's like, "Congratulations." Okay, it's almost done. I was like, this is long.
She's so excited.
Right? Congratulations. She's so excited. And she's like, or Yasi's like, "But don't push yourself too much, Nana. If you don't want this, then that's all right to just not sign the contract." And Masato's like, "What are you talking about?" Or no, that's Nana who's like, "What are you talking about? Of course I have to sign the contract. I've already thrown away all my pride. Since it's turned out this way, then let me make good use of you, Hanjo Ren. Oh. I'm gonna
Oh.
make it happen, no matter what method I have to use. As long as it gets me to the top, I will use it. Then no one can judge me." And Masato is like squeezing her and is like, "You're so cool, Nana Kya." And Nana looks like super smug. She's got a pointy, like villain nose. And like her face is just very pointy right now. And she's like, "You only realized it now?" Ha ha ha.
I kind of read like that pointy nose is like when she's like, I threw out my stupid pride. I'm like, you're lying. You're lying. That's why you have a Pinocchio nose.
Like, I don't know. It's like I've seen it in other manga before
Fair.
and like character drawings. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like yeah, she's lying, but she's like lying in the way that she's trying to boast about it,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like she knows that she doesn't feel it deep down, but she's putting on the face to do it.
Right.
And Shin has his little tear eyes again with tiny little dot eyes, and he's like, I don't know how to use chopsticks. He's like in his own little world, and Yasu's just like listening. He's just listening. He's like, okay. So then he says, oh yeah, where's Nobu? And Misato's like, I think he's shut himself in his room. Nana's like, ugh, I really don't get what he's whining about. And Shin is like, maybe because Nobu's noble. He's grown up in a place where there has always been sunshine and goodness. He's never been exposed to the cruelty of this world. Ah, I love Shin. You're so wise, Shin. So that's why he's upset, I guess. Like Shin is like so wise. He's like the little sage of the group. Um, and so then Nana like side eyes and like glances at him like really big eyes. And it says, note, heliotropism. Phototropism in which sunlight is the orienting stimulus. Oh, because it says down here. Oh, they use the term heliotropic. That's why. So she like she's like in her head. She's like, oh, so that's no wonder Nobu always liked to be with crowds of people. So I'm not the only one who's heliotropic. And then it's a black cat and a little doggy because Nobu is also doggy. And they're laying in the sun. It's totally a golden retriever puppy.
Right? I'm just like, that's a golden retriever. And he's got his spiky little hair.
Yeah, he has spiky little hair. And we have a scene change.
We do. It's a lot of text messages. It's all on Nobu's phone. He's getting like slammed with texts from random people. And I'm also really curious if this section is way different in yours than it is in mine, because I think Yasu in mine sounds mean. So we'll see what happens. This one text message says, I saw you on TV. Awesome. You're an overnight sensation. Give me your autograph. Heart. And it goes beep. And there's another one that says, Nana's beautiful. Introduce us. She can take advantage of me anytime. And then there's a beep. And another message says, so who's Hachi? Nana's pet dog. And he's just reading all this stuff. And then there's a ding dong and more fancy tuna. And Nobu's like holding the box away. And he's like, you can't break me with food anymore. I won't give in. And Yasu brought it in and he's pulling back a curtain. It says yank. And he goes, come on, food is just food. Eat it. And Nobu says, I'm bummed our major label debut is happening like this. I can't believe Nana wants to do it. What happened to her pride? And he's like kind of stressed out. He's got like a little sweat bead and stuff, like lines on the face. And Yasu's looking out the window and he says, Nana probably wants to get big and shove it in the public's face since she's had a hard life. Nana gains pride in facing adversity. And Nobu says, but I got my pride too. Gaia doesn't give a crap about our music. Is this what major labels do? And Yasu looks at him and goes, big companies are all like that. If it sells, anything goes. And Nobu's yelling. He says, but Yasu! And Yasu goes on to say, Gaia's probably involved in the media feeding frenzy too. And Nobu says, I knew it! And Yasu says that's what Mr. Kawano and Mr. Matsuo think. The network that broadcasts 7 in the morning also has 2 music programs. Gaia often has music and artists appearing on those shows, so who knows what kind of deals are going on behind the scenes. To break our band as the latest thing on Gaia like that, the TV station must have contacted Gaia ahead of time. Otherwise, they wouldn't have mentioned Gaia's name. Now, Shin is like, not Shin, but Nobu. Nobu is like looking down. He's just like stunned. And Yasu says, the show was set up to be our promotional push. I'm sure that that was Gaia's condition for allowing it to be broadcast. Since the TV show was going to air something on us, Gaia wanted the promotion to be flashy. And with free TV promotion, if the record flops and we tank, Gaia has nothing to lose. And Nobu has little stress lines again, and he says, well, that sucks. It must bum Nana out to be in such a defensive position. I don't want to be on a record label like that. And Yasu has like, I think it's like a compassionate smile, like, but it's kind of hard to tell. His glasses.
I mean, I don't think he's smiling. I think it's his eyebrows. I think the fact that he's actually drawn with lips is a part of it. Um, but yeah, I think that it's more of his eyebrows,
Mm-hmm.
small amounts of Yasu's face that we could see.
Right.
But yeah, I think that because okay, so he says it doesn't matter which company we're going to sign with. It'll still end up this way. There'll always be things that we don't know. But since Guy is interested, they'll definitely be spending money. Um, like I think that it's compassion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because like before that, like after Nobu talks, like he is looking down. But like that's the same expression that he makes when like Nana's figuring stuff out after having a meltdown,
Right.
right?
It's like
He's like, "Oh
the
yeah, you got it.
uh, right. You got it now. Finally.
Yeah, you're putting it together, right?"
Mm.
Because a lot of Yasu, like Yasu, okay, so Shin is wise and gives like points out the things that they don't notice, right? On a deep level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yasu holds space for them to figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He
Mm-hmm.
tells them like straight facts, but he doesn't sway their opinion. He gives them like the silence to be able to express themselves and get to the conclusion.
That's why he's dad.
But he's dad.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, that's so much of it. And like I also find it interesting though because like they don't know that Gaia's not involved.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody does except for us.
Except for us.
Except for the readers and Dr. Mosquito
Right.
and the news anchor, the news outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And if the news outlet has deals with Gaia, they don't want to tell Gaia that that's how they got the information,
Right.
right?
Mm-mm. So Yasu says, well, no matter what label we're on, there'll always be shady dealings like that. But if Gaia gets interested enough, they'll give us a huge budget. You can talk about the music all you want, but unless people get to hear it, who cares? If we're going to be on a major label, it's best to deal with one that gives us lots of money for production and promotion. And he tries to give Nobu a cup of tea, but Nobu's like just in his
He's
head.
mad.
He's
He's in
mad.
his head. He's mad. He's frustrated. He's frustrated.
Hmm.
This is not unskilled anger, folks.
Right? So he doesn't take it. So yeah, so kind of turns around, a little sweat drop. He's like, I think there are a lot of things that are hard to accept. And Nobu says, well, lately everything in my life's been hard to accept. And then Yasu says, well, then I guess you're figuring it out. There's no justice in this world. And Nobu looks shocked. And Yasu says, if you don't want to always be disappointed, toughen up and get crafty. If you can't take it, go back to the Terashima Inn. Like, does he say that in yours?
Um, so after the tea, because you know he made him tea because they're talking about tea. He says, "I don't know, I know you don't like how the way how a lot of things are done. Lately, everything has been happening around me. I have absolutely no control of." That's what Nobu says back. And then
Mm-hmm.
Yasu's like, "Then you should wake up. In this world, not everything will be won by justice." And then Nobu looks like kind of shocked. And it
Mm-hmm.
says, if you want to win, you have to learn how to create, or if you want to win, you have to learn how to cheat a little bit.
Mm.
And then he says, if you don't want to do that, then go back home to your uh, Terashima Ryokan. And then it says Ryokan are traditional Japanese styles inns.
Mm.
Terashima Ryokan is ran by Nobu's family. And then he looks really, really sad.
Yeah. I like I like yours better because Yasu is just telling him like, hey, like you just have to, um,
He's telling him to like get in it or drop out.
true. But like in mine, he's, I don't know. I don't.
He's meaner in yours.
Yeah, he's so mean in mine, and I'm just like, I
And
feel
like
like
he's not mean. Yasu isn't mean.
he isn't
Yasu is
mean.
logical.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like Yasu would not be the type of man to tell another man toughen up. You know what I
Yeah, no, no,
mean?
no, no, no. Like Yasu's not misogynist.
Right. Yeah, I'm just
And
like,
that's
no.
very much a misogynist. Like boys will be boys, like boys don't cry,
Mm-hmm.
like that type of thing. Whereas that's
Yeah,
not Yasu. That's not
that's not
Yasu at
Yasu.
all. And
No.
for Yasu to point out a beautiful thing to Nobu's character, in this world, not everything will be won by justice.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a very hard truth, but that means that he knows Nobu very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nobu is noble, just like Shin said.
Yeah.
He is noble.
He's so sweet.
He is. He is like, he's like he's like a little knight. He wants to just
Yes.
go like, save a princess or some shit. Like for
Yeah.
like for the good of the kingdom sort of bullshit, you
Right.
know?
For the good of the kingdom, I have rescued this maiden.
Like Nobu is very much like a sweet soft boy. He's a soft boy.
He's a soft
And
boy. I
like
mean, we
and he
discussed
deserves
that.
a fairy tale. Yeah, he's a soft boy. I mean, that's the thing. Nobu Nobu and so the similarities between Nobu and Hachi are a lot, and they both grew up in a safe environment,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what gives them their innocence.
Yeah.
Like they're the most innocent characters,
Yeah.
right? The other characters are not innocent,
No.
and they all have different, ways of navigating the world from that lack of innocence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when you have the safety of childhood, what I mean by that is actually having a childhood,
Right.
then you actually get to grow up as an adult when you're an adult,
Yep.
right? And that's what this is for Nobu
Yeah.
right now, is him seeing the world as an adult.
It's hard.
Like it's its own brand.
Yeah.
There's a little, do you want to finish the thought boxes and then do you need to do this next little scene space and then
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, yeah. So Nobu's sad.
Nobu is sad.
Nobu's so sad. He's on
He's
his
so
bed,
sad. Well, like he's
head
trying to
down.
process this, right? Because it's not the way
Mm-hmm.
that they wanted. Nobu wanted it to be clean and ethical. He wanted to do it the right way. Nobu wants
Yeah.
to always do things the right way,
Yeah.
right?
And
I
that's
mean, that's the way that I see it.
yeah. No, for sure. And I love that about him. I'm like, yes. Why is the world so messy? I know. Empathize. I empathize with Nobu because, well, I am a Nobu. So, safe environment and might be a golden retriever. I don't know. um. So, thought boxes for Nana. It says, when I turned on the TV, I saw Ren swarmed by paparazzi on all the gossip shows. Seeing Ren being rushed silently through the lobby at Narita made me feel kind of left behind and abandoned again. And we have a shot of Ren looking very stoic as he's moving through that crowd. And Shin and Nana and Misato are watching that televised segment. And Nana's smoking, drinking her tea, and she's thinking, I don't know where Ren's going. I don't know what he's doing. All our talk about living in that warehouse district someday now seems just like a distant dream that's even less likely to come true than my dream of making it as a singer. And we have a scene change.
I do want to point out a difference with the television part.
Okay.
It says, looking at his face, the Ren that hurries away, not saying anything, I feel like I've been thrown away from him.
Hmm.
And then it also points out that he's surrounded by a bunch of people, not a bunch of paparazzi.
Interesting.
Yeah, because these aren't paparazzi.
Are they not? There's a lot of people with boom mics and
Yeah,
like
those are news
cameras.
anchors, not paparazzi. Paparazzi don't have they don't have mics.
Hmm.
Paparazzi are the ones that like just hide and blast you with photos,
True.
right? Like they're sneaky. These are actual like news people. They have microphones.
Still annoying.
Yes, it's still annoying, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there might be paparazzi here also, but like these are a bunch of different people. Like to the left, I see a guy with a camera. He might be a paparazzi, right? But like they're not all mosquitoes, even though they are all buzzing around. Some of
Yep.
them are flies.
Yeah. Flaps.
um yeah, so it's Hachi and she's sitting on the floor with June. June's drawing. They have a cute little tray with their drinks on it, and it looks like this is how I sit. This is how I sit in my world. Um it's true though. And they're watching TV, and Hachi is like, "Hey Junko, where's Ren going? Without Nana, he's throwing her away." And June is like, "I only want to know when are you leaving?"
Oh no. She's so savage.
I know. She's just like, "Fuck."
Yeah, you're here. My God.
Go home.
Go
How
home.
but it's been like what, a day?
Has it? I feel like it's only been a few hours.
Maybe 24 hours.
Maybe. Maybe
Well, cuz
less.
like well, remember because the TV, the meeting, this is the evening now.
Is it? Because it came on at 7 in the morning. Takumi's like, I gotta go.
Oh, it's the
Give
same day.
Yeah, his same day. Like they're running away. Like
Yeah, it's the
everyone
same
ran
day.
away.
It's the same
S-
day.
Yeah, so
But
it
like
might
Kyosuke
10
told her to
o'clock.
stay.
Yeah, he did.
No, because it's in the evening now because in the afternoon the Gaia people had a meeting.
Oh, okay. Ah, the day has progressed.
Yes. The day has actually progressed. Um,
That's why Junko's like, go the fuck home.
right? So she's been dealing with her all day. She's drawing a little dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, she's drawing a Hachi. Um, and so Hachi says, Ren is leaving. So doesn't that mean that Takumi is going too? He's throwing me away too? And June is like, that Kyosuke told you to come over. And he went to school himself. Why are all men so selfish? I want to go back to school too. Oh my god, June, it's your best friend. Shut up and just take a day. Take a day. It's been a while. It's been a while. Okay, get over yourself. Like it's been
Ah.
months, just a few, but like some time. Um, no, but for real. Um,
Fair.
so Hachi, she's like, when is he coming back? We sort of had a fight. Is it over? And June is like, Nana, go back home. That's why everyone's happy. What? Go back
No.
home. That's why everyone's happy.
In mine, it says it's the best thing for everyone involved.
Oh, that way everyone's happy. I just read it wrong. That way everyone's happy. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, but she'll be alone. She won't be happy. She's not good alone.
Right?
Nana's like, no way. Nana just gave me this big message. June is, what's the big message? And now Nana is having a moment. The world has turned into a leafy, because leaves are a theme right now, a leafy
Hmm.
spiral, right?
Yes.
Oh my god. So it says, Nana is in deep trouble and she is still hanging on. So I can't let myself down like this. Cool. June June like is holding up her sketch pad to like block herself from the leaf spiral behind Hachi. And she's like, no, it's okay. You've caused enough trouble for everyone around you. Be a good girl. Go back where you came from and start over again. Jeez. Oh my god.
Restart your whole existence.
Right? And so, oh my god. And so she's like, I can't tell him if he goes to London. Can I still make it if I call him now? And then she pulls out her phone, beep, beep, beep. And like June is just sitting there, like frustrated. And she's like, she's not even listening. No, she's not. June,
No,
you know, June, you know. June, you
right?
know, and you also know how to play this. Like,
Yeah,
and you're just like making it worse,
true.
right? Like, you have to let her work it out herself. Like, she has to go through the spirals to get to the beginning,
Yes.
right? Crystal, you know about this.
Yes, I do. Okay,
Long-
like some
the long way.
I do it the long way because I am also like remember I'm a Nobu, I am also a Hachi. Okay, like I'm over here. Is it over? I'm just gonna do it. Just do it.
Oh my god. So we have a
It's
little scene
fine.
change. We have a little scene change. It's just a little brief guy. Um, yeah.
Well, she's like she's on the phone with Takumi.
Oh, she's on the. Oh, did he answer? He didn't answer yet. He didn't answer yet.
He's
So she's
gonna.
sleeping. And then Rira is like, I'm so glad we get to go to London. How's Stella?
I want to talk. I want to talk about Stella, but we'll wait. I'm
And
gonna wait.
Takumi's cigarette falls out of his mouth, and there is like explosions behind him. What is it with these backgrounds right now? Very intense. Um, and so no, and so Naoki's like, "How's Stella?" And question mark, or who's Stella? Excuse me, who's Stella? And Rira whispers, "Takumi's London wife. She's blonde." And Naoki says, "Oh, you even have one overseas? I envy you." And the assistant's in the background with like dots and like looking really frustrated. She's like, "London wife." And Takumi looks pissed and his phone rings.
Yep.
He looks so angry. And it's hot.
Great.
And she's crying. So let's drink some water.
Mm-hmm. She's like yelling into the
Okay.
phone.
Right? And she's like, hello, Takumi? Thank God you picked up the phone. And now he goes from pissed to looking really concerned. And he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, sorry. I'm so
Uh,
sorry about this morning. The things I said, I didn't mean it that way. And fucking Takumi.
is
Oh
it?
God.
Well,
He's got
remember
these spirals.
you said like the longest time ago, you were just like, well, he always has like a million things going on in his head, like all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, he does. He does. But like the thing is like he was, I don't know, I feel like this is one of those things where yeah, he was so short-tempered because he had all of these things that we're seeing in his head right now. That's what he's thinking of,
He's
right?
running through them. He's like,
And he's
morning.
now there's like these spirals and it's a lot of dots and he's like, this morning. And it's like food, music, computer, coffee, magazines, a building, his Jeep. You know what I mean? Like it's all these things. He's trying to place it. And
Great.
then it dawns on him and he sees in his head him irritated. The sun is shining. It says, "Would you shut up?" And then it's Hachi in a little Hachi suit going woof woof woof. And he's like, "Oh."
Or he's like, oh, there it is.
Right? He had to like find it. He had to find it. And so
Sift,
she's
sift,
like,
there.
right? She's just bawling. And she's like, yeah, about that. I'm sorry. An outsider like me shouldn't be calling you when you're so busy. And then it's in the background, they're walking out of like the hotel or whatever, or Gaia or where whatever building they're in. And it says sha sha sha. Um and then here's Hachi. There's a spotlight on her. Jude is in the
Oh my
background in the dark,
god.
looking just so annoyed. Hachi is in like a black gown, like dress, right? And it says whoo whoo, and she's like crying, and the spotlight is just like this like beacon essentially. and then the
It's she's
phone
so
is ringing.
dramatic.
It's so
It's so
dramatic.
dramatic. She's like,
We
oh,
haven't had we haven't had dramatic like dream Hachi in a while.
it's true.
Right? Like we have it. And so now she's got star eyes and she's blushing, smiling, and June slaps her in the back of the head and it says, "Oh," with a heart. And
I
I'm
think
just
I
like
would have hit her back of the head too
like
if she was just like, oh.
he didn't even say anything yet.
No, because she hung up on him. She fucking hung up on him. So she
Yeah,
was like,
she did that and then she hung up. And now she's like just and then the phone rings and she answers and she's so happy. And it says, I'm leaving for England tomorrow. My room number at the hotel, I'll email it to you if there's anything. You can call me. There'll be a Japanese receptionist." And she goes, "Tomorrow? For how long?" And he goes, about half a month." And she's like, "Half a month?" And now she's crying again.
yep,
Um, and
more
he's like,
water.
"It's only 2 weeks." And then here's Rira on the other side of the glass writing Stella with a little heart.
Yes.
Oh my God, right?
It's,
And then,
yep.
right? And Hachi's like, "Anyhow, staying in Japan with all the uproar, we won't get to spend time together. It's the same." And he says, "Not the same." She says, "Not the same. It's not the same at all." And then it says, "Baka baka." I assume that's Junko. And he goes, "Really? How is it different?" "Well, anyhow, that's the way it is." And now Rira's making like faces at him and he like knocked the glass.
mm-hmm.
She goes running off laughing while he's still talking, which I think is cute because she's just like teasing him, but like also like we'll get there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because I'm like,
yeah,
Stella, I want to talk about the Stella thing and the fact that she pointed it out. But anyway, we can keep
yeah,
going.
exactly. We can talk about that after the chapter, because we
Fair.
can, we can. We're full of spoilers anyway. It doesn't matter.
True.
Um, and everybody's read it, and if they haven't, they're reading it with us. Uh,
Exactly.
but nobody who's
Yay.
gonna listen to this hasn't read it or seen it. So even though, how much is Stella actually in the anime?
Like,
None.
none.
Is she even mentioned in the anime? I can't
Oh,
remember.
no, like, yeah, Reaver does this
Briefly?
scene.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
briefly. Okay, briefly. Um, and so he says, meeting your parents would be impossible for a while, so please explain the situation and apologize to them. And Hachi says, then, while Takumi's gone to England, I'm going to visit my parents back home. Sigh. And Takumi's like, how about that? How about that? And he's like, what are you planning to do? Are you thinking of raising the child at your parents' home? Question mark. What?
Well,
Uh,
well, he asked, remember, like the last chapter, he gave her an out.
I know, but she just apologized. Because
Yeah,
he
but
jumped to a conclusion because of his trauma.
true.
And she just said, maybe I'll go visit my parents anyway because you'll be gone. I
Or
think that
maybe,
that's, yeah.
yeah, well, maybe he's also double checking because she said,
Oh,
goodbye
yeah.
last time. And
Yeah. He might be double checking her plan.
right, like, just so we're
Yeah.
clear, you're not breaking up with me again, are you?
Right. Right. So now she's angry and she says, I don't want that. I want to have our own family. No matter what happens, I want it with Akumi and our child. I want us three to have a happy and warm family. And June looks shocked,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So
And
shocked.
right, she like it's not like she's just like wide-eyed shocked,
Mm-hmm.
like silent shocked, like stone shocked. And so Takumi's like, three's enough? Don't you want a few more? And now he's like messing with the writing of Stella's name.
mm-hmm.
But he's like, I don't know. I feel like he's kind of, I don't know. He's being sweet to Hachi.
Yeah, I
He's like,
like this
he's like
scene.
teasing. He's like teasing her.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so now she's like, "What?" And she's like, "It's all right if the number doesn't increase. all I want is for us to raise a healthy child. And he's like looking really pleased and he's like, I know. I'll be buying souvenirs in England. Is there anything you want? And she yells, diamond ring. And he looks shocked. Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
oh yeah.
Right? And he's like, ah, right. We still haven't bought a wedding ring yet. And so then he asks what size, and she says 7. And then he smudges Stella's name away and says, understood, heart.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
It's cute. Everybody can fight me. I love.
It's actually yeah, I really like that scene. I don't care. It's sweet. It's really
Hmm.
sweet. And so now Nana's off the phone and happy crying, and it says victory above her head. And it says, Junchan, he said he's going to buy a wedding ring as souvenir. Okay, wedding ring as a souvenir. Jesus Christ. And June's like, congratulations. How's that a souvenir?
Yeah, that's a
We
good
have a proper we
question.
have a proper scene change now.
We do, yeah. And it's nighttime and it's a picture of was that Tokyo Tower
Mhm.
where all the shenanigans happen in Sailor Moon. Um
Yes,
and no
yes, all the shenanigans happen there.
all of it. And
I
Nobu's
mean,
look
no, but like also in a lot of kaiju, like in general, a lot of shenanigans happen there too.
this is very true,
Like
but I think
it's
it's
the spot. It's their Eiffel Tower or their Statue of Liberty. It's the
right.
equivalent.
Right, exactly. And Nobu's looking out the window like I should transform into my Sailor Scout persona and go help somebody else right now so I can get out of this fucking situation. But
I mean, he's having transformation station thoughts now that he's at the transformation station.
right. Yes. So we're back in the think boxes, and it's not as thoughts saying finally our dreams are coming true. But the ideals that we pursue and the reality that rushes towards us keep staring each other down. They don't get along. Apparently, people are locked into a system where you have to pay something in order to gain something. I started to realize this. The cycle of waxing and waning is pure fate. And then there's a knock knock at the door. Like Nobu and Nana have changed into like bathrobes now. And he answers the door, and it's Nana, and she says, "Time for a drink." She's brought beer, and now they're in Nobu's room, and he says, "So Nana, you said something for Hachi on TV, didn't you?" And she says, "I just sent her a secret message." And he says, "I've been getting tons of emails asking, 'What's Hachiko?' It's worse than porno spam." And she says, "Oh, sorry, man. There." And she kind of pats him on the head. And he's got like the little blush circles on his face. And he says, "It's all right. I told people it's your pet dog. She kind of is. Dot, dot, dot." She looks at him and says, "I'm really sorry. I keep dragging you through drama. If I weren't in your life, you could live happily ever after in peace." And he just like looks over at her and he says, "It's cool, man. This is what I want to be doing. I'm just living out a story where I'm tormented by girls named Nana." Ha. But he's like, I think he's teasing because he's got like a little sparkle next to his head. And she's like, "What story?" And he says, "The Nobu Diaries." She's got dot dot dots. But then he's like, but
Then he freaks out. It's like he gets embarrassed. It's like he gets really, really embarrassed.
right? He's like, "Ah," and she's like, "Oh, then the next girl character in the story will be named Nana too. You can't escape." And he says, "No, anything but that." And she says, "I feel bad for you, but I just can't erase Hachi from my story." And Nobu's like quiet and then sad. And then says, "She doesn't seem to disappear from my story either." And Nana's eyes go wide, and he says, "But I'm probably gone from Hachi's story by now." And we cut back to
Not true.
Junko's? Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
true.
it's not true, but only briefly. It's only a brief
Yeah,
cutback.
yeah. Do you want me to keep going through it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because Hachi's looking up at the moon, and she says, "Hey, June, look, the moon's so beautiful tonight." And June says, "So are you spending the night here?"
can't handle her for like 5 fucking minutes. And I'm just like, why are you still friends with her if you don't like her that much?
I don't-
Like
That's a good question.
I don't understand.
I sometimes I don't know. You just get stuck to people. It's hard to say goodbye sometimes.
Not that. June is easy at saying goodbye forever.
That's true.
Like she does it all the time. She does it every time she sees her. She tries to break up with her every single time they hang out.
She keeps coming back like a boomerang.
Uh-huh. And June
Yeah,
opens well, and Kyosuke opens the door.
it's true.
Well, it's because I think that Kyosuke knows that June doesn't really mean it and that
Hmm.
June actually needs Hachi just as much as Hachi needs June, even if June doesn't want to own that.
Yeah, I can see
Like,
that.
you know what I mean?
Hmm. But Nana here's not even Hachi's
Nope.
not even
She
acknowledging it.
doesn't even acknowledge. Yeah,
No.
she's just like, nope.
Yeah, she's just like, but it's not totally full yet. I wonder when it'll be a full moon. And June says, if you're spending the night, I'll email Kyosuke to stay over at a friend's place. Make up your mind. And Hachi's still not listening. She says, June, I think that the night of the full moon was the happiest time of my life. And June is like a little shocked and she's like, what night of the full moon? And Hachi smiles and she says, I thought that I had everything I wanted. My heart was full of hopes and dreams, and my future was shining. Like she's not making any sense right now. She says, I'll never be fulfilled by happiness like that again, the kind with no shadows. And June looks worried? Maybe?
I think that there's some concern. Mine says the feeling of having all your wishes granted and your heart filled with hope and dreams. The future ahead shining brightly at you. Surely that old gloomy feeling of emptiness won't ever come back.
Hmm.
Right? And um she says but before that she says the coming let's see. The full moon is so beautiful and then goes on to say the coming full moon will be the happiest moment of my life.
Hmm.
Um why?
Why? Yeah.
Like how will that be the happiest moment of her life?
I don't know. I thought she was talking about the moment when Nana did her first like quote unquote stage performance in their apartment, and that was a full moon night.
That could be why, maybe the connection.
Yeah.
Um Surely that old gloomy feeling of emptiness won't ever come back. Because she is feeling hopeful. And for a long, maybe it's just like the fact that the moon is getting full. She's seeing that representation of fullness. And
Mm-hmm.
like she's been feeling very empty,
True.
very heartbroken, very lost because she lost her best friend.
Yeah.
This morning, her best friend came back. The day has been filled with drama. But now, like, it's
Yeah.
kind of like mostly at her own hand of overreaction. Um,
Yeah.
but I think that now though it's getting towards the end of the day and things are finally like kind of solid,
Yeah.
right? She feels confident in her relationship.
Hmm.
Her weird love best friend has
Yeah.
like spoken to her through the television, which if it wasn't them, it'd be like, oh honey, we might have a
Hmm.
problem, right? You might need some medication.
Right.
You know, she is with her oldest best friend right now. Like
Yeah.
things for Hachi right now in this moment are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like all of the moving pieces are coming together
Hmm.
for her. They feel kind of whole,
Yeah.
right? Nana's back in a weird way,
Hmm.
in a pseudo schizophrenic way, but she's back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
makes
what I think.
sense.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's a good. That's good. Good analysis. um. So then we're back in Nobu's room, and I think he's talking. He says, "With Hachi, I thought I could do anything, but when the time came, I couldn't do anything at all. I'm such a lost cause. She was really horrible to me, so why can't I let it go?" And Nana just she's pausing, she's thinking, and she says, "Maybe you don't have to let go. There's still hope." And Nobu jumps up and he says, "How?" And he slams his beer down. And she looks over at him all slyly, and she says, "You just have to follow my plan, my dear Nobuo. Heart." And she's like gripping the back of his head and like pulling on his robe. They look like they're a couple right now.
Okay. Also, though, she says, "As long as you follow my battle tactics, Kawaii Nobu."
Hawaii Nobu, follow my battle map. That's funny.
Right?
Oh. And he's like, but he's got like the little blush circles again. He goes, "Please don't do this." And she says, "Operation Get Hachiko Back. When she returns to my yard, you can mate with her."
My God. Okay, it's kind of similar to what mine says. It says,
Right.
"The win Hachiko back battle. Once she's back in the garden, you can mate again."
But then Nobu's like, "Oh my god," he's like treating her like a dog again, mate with her. And now Nana's yelling, and she's like, "Don't talk back, fight like a man." And he yells at her, he says, "You don't have to tell me to fight." And she just smiles contentedly. And we're back with June and Hachi, and June says, "Nana, don't be so negative. You'll be all right. You're only 20 years old. You got your whole life in front of you. Just don't do stupid things." And Hachi says, "I'm not being negative. June, you don't understand the delicate heart of a girl. You're also 20 years old, so why are you such a middle aged lady?" And now June's got the angry marks in her face is all in like shadow on one side, and she's like,
She
"Middle
doesn't she
aged
doesn't call her
lady."
middle-aged in mine. She says, she's okay, hold on. "You've only been alive for 20 years. There's still many good things waiting for you in life, as long as you don't do stupid things." And, and Hachi's like, "I'm not being pessimistic. Junko, you really don't understand a young girl's heart. You've also only been alive 20 years. Why do you sound so much like a great aunt?" Not just an aunt, a great aunt.
Great. You're ancient.
As well, like, yeah, a great aunt is like grandma age,
Right.
not middle age, grandma age.
That's why June's mouth is so big.
It's so bad. And she's like, "Great aunt?"
Right. And then Hachi's like, "But Kyosuke is like a middle-aged guy. You're a good couple. I'm jealous." And then she's like, "I'll try my best to make a good couple with Takumi. See ya." Heart as she's leaving, and June's still mad. And she's like, "So why did you come over here? If you want to act, do if if you want to act, do a one-woman show." And then we have
God.
the scene
Yeah, she did
change.
she did not say that. She's like, "If you're leaving, then why didn't you say so in the first place?" Too busy talking to herself.
Yeah. Old
Well, I mean, she
dialogue.
kept asking when she was gonna leave, and then she's like, "Let me know if you're gonna stay so I can tell Kyosuke." Well, guess what? She's letting you know that she's not staying.
Right?
I mean, come on, June. You know better. You know this is how it is. You know. Yeah, so we have a scene change. They're outside of Gaia. We have some thought boxes, and it says, "My battle tactics are really simple. I'll show Hachi a beautiful dream." In Hachi's story, we, Blast, are incomparable to anything else. We just need to make regular appearances. then she'll come back right away. I mean, I gotta give it to Nana.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. She's like, I know what Hachi needs. This is what we're gonna do with my fame. We're going to give Hachi what she needs. The only reason to be famous is for Hachi. Not even Masato. It's for Hachi.
For Hachi.
Hachi. Do it for Hachi. Um,
Yeah.
that's really what it is. And she's like, that cold-hearted man will soon realize his mistake, that he can't give Hachi happiness. And so now we have an older fox-looking dude. And
Yes.
right? Oh,
Yes.
he's the fox-looking dude. He
He's
is
the
the
fox
fox.
guy. He's the what is his
I
name?
can
Like
scroll down a little
Miroshima?
more. Yeah, but what's the other guy? The other guy, the greasy guy, the other greasy guy.
The
Um,
crazy. He's got a K name too. I can't remember what it is because the other
and
guy
then we
is
have
Kono.
old manager man that we love. We love old manager man. So
Hmm.
Fox Guy says our company will use every bit of our power to help you become the most successful band. We have high expectations of you all. And then they're holding on to a contract. And then Raccoon Guy um, says, let us work hard together. And that's a manager man, is the raccoon guy.
Hmm.
And then it's Donna's face. And then it's a little raccoon guy and a little fox guy.
She's imagining them and they're.
Yep. And she is laughing hysterically. And Shin is embarrassed, but gets it. Nobu is embarrassed and like trying not to laugh, I think.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Right?
like, keep it together, keep it together.
Right? And Yasu is irritated and he's like, Nana.
Right.
And then both of them have a big question mark.
Right. They're like, what's funny?
Right? They don't get it. And so now Nana says, and it's like straight on her face. She's being very serious. And she's like, let us become Japan's number one. Yoroshiku one gashimasu. Which means please take care of me. Okay.
Yeah.
Speak Japanese, guys. Don't be mean to me.
Right.
And then in a thought box it says the hero in Hachi's tale is me. Is me.
It's
And we've seen
true
change.
though. Yeah,
Right?
and yeah, it's there's a vroom of an airplane, and it's Rira, and she's like, "Run, heart!" And Ren smiles as she comes to look at. And you know what? I think the last few times we've seen Ren and Rira interact, I think that is the start of the rumor that they are having an affair, because that is something that fans believe.
I know
So,
they believe that, but like I honestly think just because of how long they've known each other, Ren is very loyal to Yasu.
yes, and also him
Like
and
Rira is a
Rira
little
are
sister.
friends.
Rira's a little
Yeah,
sister. Like that's what that is, guys. Like I'm
yeah,
sorry that your sibling relationships aren't lovely.
right.
I mean, like that's the only thing, like I get excited like that when I see my brother.
Aw,
I do. I love my brother. I think he's the best.
that's awesome. Well, your brother
Right?
was really cool though, so
My brother is so sweet and I get so excited. Like I don't emote like Rira because I'm not a fluffy little cupcake, but like, I do get excited like when I see him
she's
because
not a
I love hanging out with him.
yeah. He's not fluffy cupcake. You're more like a dense loaf of bread.
I'm a loaf of sourdough, artisan made. Thank you
Yes, right.
very
Oh, I love sourdough.
No, but like, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah,
I still get like really excited when I see him. Like, I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then, he's like smiling, and then there's a whap as Takumi puts down a magazine that says Search Weekly, and it's got a very busty girl on the front. And he's like, just look. And
Oh, he
Ren
says read it. He says read it in mine.
read it, and Ren's got little flowers around his head, and the circle blushy, and he's like, huge tits, heart.
Oh, mine just says big boobs. big boobs.
Mine also says
Heart.
like a shelf.
Like a shelf.
Like a
Mine does
shelf.
not say that. Mine says, "You're bad, Takumi."
And Takumi says, "No, not that perv." And then, he opens it up and there's a picture of him and Nana that says the sordid past of the beautiful woman who stole the rock and roll hero's heart. Like we
Oh yeah,
had it.
that's right. And mine says Rock World Prince's dark history with beautiful punk babe.
Yeah.
And then he says,
Saucy.
"Beautiful punk babe."
And yeah, mine just says beautiful dot dot dot. And I'm like, yes. And Takumi sits down, he's lighting a cigarette, and he's like, the headline's ridiculous, but the content is pretty crazy too. I'm sure these guys launched the whole media freak out. They seem to really dig your lady. Check out the enhancements. And Ren's like, well, I sure fell for her. And Takumi says, Gaia's getting carried away and joined the media circus. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. And Ren's got a little
Huh.
tick, and he says, why?
Huh. Okay, so mine says, not just the cover, the article inside's the same. That's the person who started everything. Seems like he has a great bit of liking for your woman. Won't let go. And Ren says, yeah, since I'm the only one being singled out. And Takumi goes, Gaia must have something to do with it. I have a bad feeling about this. And Ren goes,
Mm-hmm.
oh? But yeah, it's different. It is different in mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the enhanced, like what did they mean by enhancements? They don't even mention enhancements in mine.
I think it's like and I think the enhancements is supposed to be like
The made
they
up parts.
they embellished her
Oh,
background and made her seem
oh,
really like
yeah, see,
salty.
they don't even mention any of that at
Mm.
all.
Yeah, not
Like,
salty, sultry.
yeah, yeah, sultry, yeah, more scandalous. They wanted it more scandalous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's a scene change. There's a
There's
plunk.
a scene change, and it's a videotape, and she's at the movie store, and it's one of her first love. How many were there? Like seven?
Yeah.
Um,
Probably.
and
That is
right,
her
and
number.
he's right. I don't. He's the guy who works at the movie place or at the video place that she worked at.
Yeah.
When she ran away. And he's still working there, and he's like, "Are you returning it?" Question mark. And she goes, "Smile." And he goes, "Nana-chan?" And she goes, "It's been a while. Nakamura-san? Nakamura. Nakamura?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I came to borrow this, you weren't here. So I was wondering whether you quit. It's quite lonely here. I'm glad that you're still doing fine." And he's like, he turns and there's like, he does like what is the thing? The thing
It's
where the
Swing.
chin, yeah, the chin
Yeah,
with
the
the
chip
the
holding.
finger and the thumb, right? And there's a little
Yep.
star and his eyes are closed. And he's like, have you fallen in love with me? So that's why you're here to look for me. It can't be helped, Nana-chan. And and so then she's like looking, there's like little flowers around her, and her eyes are like very chibi. She has a chibi face. And she's like, can you extend the due date for me? And he's like, sure. And she's thinking, lucky.
That's
Like,
yes,
uh,
Hachi, get it.
right?
You like me? Could you like not charge me for this? Oh my
Right.
god.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Could I get a little longer? Um, and so now she's like walking down the street. The sun has a little smiley face. Like it's a beautiful day. And she's like, I don't know, she looks like super pleased.
Mhm.
And in her head, she's like, today's such a great day. Maybe I should go to Asano-san's to get my hair done. Is he still here? I'm so excited. And then her phone rings and it is Masato. And Masato says, Hachiko-san, the last debut date has been decided. And she's like, really? When? And so on the website, this is like an old
Old.
computer.
Look at that.
Look at windows. Look at those windows,
Oh, the days.
right? This is early Windows, guys. Boom, boom. Man,
Yeah,
that's wild. That's wild.
that's great.
It's kind of throwing me off. I'm just like, wait a second.
It's reminding me of what it used to be, and I'm like,
Right?
oh,
Like
nostalgia.
also the way that like the computer is drawn around it, it looks like a MacBook. I was like, wait a second, where are we at? What year are we in?
I don't
Like
know, but I know it's two in the
Yazawa
afternoon.
predicted what a MacBook will look like. But it's also Windows. Like it's a Windows browser,
Yes, yeah, it is.
right? And so it's the Gaia page and it's the main page and it says Blackstone's debut single Wednesday, October 31st release. Commendable first press, posters and stickers.
Yeah, which is kind of ironic because we're like recording in October right now, and it's before the
Right?
31st. So hey,
I know. Look at that. Timeline's syncing up. I mean, yeah, that would only make sense though, because like somehow from our breaks and stuff,
right?
like we went from it being perfect timing for Venus to be in retrograde, then all of the Mercury retrograde stuff happened, and then it was like, oh, it's 9/11 and we're talking about 9/11 and now the dates are like similar and it's interesting anyway.
That's crazy.
Um yeah, wild. Wild, wild, wild. But by the time that you hear this, because we're so behind, it's probably gonna be next year.
Yes, it will be. But just know that right now it is
Right now,
October.
it is October. Um, and so it's Rira, and she's staring at the computer, and it says, "Oh, Mari-chan, when are we releasing our single?" And she's like, "October 31st."
There is a drama.
Right. And then now it's Hachi, and she's walking still on the phone, and it says, "Hey, Hachi." And she's like, and then she like glances over, and there's graffiti that says "Die Nana" under a bridge.
Mm.
And it says, "I can no longer be the hero of your fairy tale." And I don't know how Nana also has spray paint, but she's
I
now spray painting. And it says, "But the name of the heroine in my story is still Nana. No one can be cuter than you."
I I get
And it says, "Nana referred here is Hachi and not Punk Nana." Hold on.
think I think what happened is it Hachi, because she's only got her purse and she's talking to Masato, and then she looked over and saw this terrible thing under the bridge. I think she probably went to the store really fast and was like, no, fuck this, and went and changed the graffiti. But we
See,
didn't see
like
her.
my thought. Oh yeah, 'cause she has a bag.
Yeah, she's got a bag. She
Okay.
doesn't in the other
Yeah,
panels.
that's
She's like,
before. So she left and came back to like right over it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And she changed it to say Nana Love.
yeah. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. You can find us on all the things apartment 707 underscore on Instagram. We have a link tree with all of our stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that is exists there, but the retrograde's kind of we're still working that out. We're still working out the after retrograde effects and madness. And I mean, we still have Saturn in retrograde.
Yeah.
So hey, thanks for being here. It's gonna be all right. It might not be. But we're gonna tell ourselves that it is and hold up the best that we possibly can.
Yes.
Um, Drink your water.
Yes.
Use a washcloth in the shower. And goodbye forever.
Goodbye forever.
Till next week.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I have an interview.
An interview.
An interview. It's an interview with the actress who plays Nana Osaki in the live action, I believe. And it says Nana and I are a lot alike, even down to having lots of pride. Um, it's Mika Nakashima, and she was born February 18th, 1983. And then her acting debut was in 2001 in the drama Wounded Love Song. She's the like non a musician.
Mm-hmm.
also played Nana in the first live action. Does she play her in the second? I think Nana Saki is the same actress. Hachi changes. I don't like the second Hachi.
I know Shin
Um,
changed too.
yeah, she changed too, but I do not like the second Hachi. Don't. I like the first Hachi better. It says, I knew about the original Nana manga before I was actually contracted about the role of Nana. I was always thinking I really don't have anything but Vivienne Westwood clothes. And I really liked Vivienne. So when I heard from a friend that Nana was the same, I was interested. This was about when the eighth or ninth issue was coming out, and I read them. Bam, bam, bam. Maybe it's the story or maybe it's the clothes that they wear, but I like this manga more than I can really explain. This is a work with a lot of feeling behind it. And when acting as Nana, I was really conscious about not diverging from her image in the original work. For my facial expressions and movements, I refer to the original work to the point of being overconscious and even sometimes told them when the script wasn't true to the manga. Laughs. Good job, girl.
Right?
I think I really surprised my co-stars. I was really surprised by how much they got into their roles, especially Maruyama-san as Yasu and Narimiya-kun as Nobu. I loved Nobu, and I thought that that actor did great as Nobu, honestly. Um, their works in acting were just like the originals. Maruyama-san was always chilling out, and Nari Miyu-kun would be setting the scene by rousing the mood. The atmosphere between me and Ryuhi-kun, who was playing Ren, was really noticeable. And when we were together, it was really good. Ayo-chan, who was playing Hachi, is younger than me. So at first, I wasn't sure how well we'd connect, but she praised me, saying things like, "Your nails are so pretty," laughs. Naturally, it's hard for me to make friends. But by the time the filming was over, we were talking about staff news and really getting along. Nana and I are really similar in a lot of ways. We like the same things and we're both vocalists. Then there's the fact that we both don't change ourselves. We can't open our hearts and that we have really high pride. Laughs. Like Hachi to run after my boyfriend to Tokyo is something I would never do. Following my dreams to Tokyo is one thing, but I don't think that it could ever be for a boyfriend. So I really understand how Nana feels about going with Ren. I was a bit perplexed as to how to be Osaki Nana when singing. This is because blast songs are usually in a very different genre of songs than I sing and are very rock. But the shoes and the standing mic saved me. When I was standing on stage, right? When I was standing on stage, Nakashima Maki, I'm barefoot. So when she's doing her own music, she's barefoot. And this is the first time I sung with a standing mic. So it was very different. Changing the atmosphere like that was definitely a good thing. I've noticed that in trying to act like Nana, my music and acting is a lot like hers. I planned to act exaggeratedly with a strong way of speaking, but when I watched in the monitors, it just looked normal. The songs were the same. I had planned to sing with a lot of inflections, but when listening through all of the gear, I thought I should have tried harder. Um, listening through all of the gear, I thought I should have tried harder. Discovering those things made acting really enjoyable. Looking back on working on the movie, my ways of thinking would have changed. Before I had the feeling of it, if I can find something in it to make me grow, but now I think that maybe doing music and movies 50% to 50% would be good. Acting in this movie taught me how great acting can be, and that's very important.
Hmm.
Cute
Where'd
that
you?
they included that.
Yeah. What is that? Just at the end of your chapter?
Yep,
Huh. Interesting.
it's page 48. These are scans from these are scanned from the original serialed.
Mm.
They were being they were being translated after they right after they were released in Japan in this before they were put in volumes,
Okay.
right? But they were still marked as volumes.
Ah.
Like they put the marked volumes in. So like it yeah. It's a whole process. But we have comments too.
Yeah.
So
Give me
we
the
have
comments.
Yukine says Nana X Hachiko. Yes, we all agree. Painkiller is back and says, "Why is this guy so gay?" Excuse you, Painkiller. That was only a year ago.
All right, which guy? Who are
Right?
you talking about?
I know. I know. Or why is this so gay? Sorry. Why is this so gay? I tried to replace gay with guy because I didn't like reading that. And he's like just wishing the author would come back and say, "Never mind. Let's make it Yuri." Um it's not even a comment to a comment.
Yeah.
Wishing the author would come back and say, "Well, which one's Yuri again?"
Oh, girl on girl.
Oh, but Yuri is also a name. But yeah, Yaoi and Yuri. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm
I
just like,
see.
but the
Oh, okay. So they actually mean gay, like actually as in gay, not as in like dumb.
yeah, they mean just like, oh, and they
Yeah, but
we've been over this, kids.
we're over this, kids. Well, we have our troll Hachiko, and
Oh
we also
no.
have Leah. So like, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Hachiko responds with, "Hachi was a lesbian since the beginning, and Nana is bisexual.
Mm,
But looks like you still read with your eyes closed after 30 plus chapters. I feel bad for you." Um, I think, I think you are wrong.
yes.
Nana could be bisexual. We've talked about this at length. I also think
Yes.
that Nana is more of a demisexual
Mm-hmm.
and possibly pansexual, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
Hachi, on the other hand, is bisexual.
Yeah. For sure, Z's.
But Nana's the type of person who is in love with the person that she's in love with.
Yeah.
Like that's what I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Leah responds to Hachiko, "You're the one who's delusional. Nana never showed interest in women." It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
She even said that she doesn't want to have anything sexual with Hachi when Ren asked. And Hachi, lesbian? This is so fucking hilarious. You just want to make everything into romance. Why can't we have a normal, deep platonic relationship? Why do you have to ruin everything? You ruined everything.
You ruin
Yeah, I mean,
everything, Hachiko.
you do, Hachi. Or Hachiko, not cool Hachiko. Hachiko the troll. We've gone over this. We've gone over this so many times. It is okay to have, like this person says, a normal, deep platonic relationship. Why can't we have stories about friendships without them
Yeah.
being sexualized? Hachiko, why do you have to sexualize this?
Yeah.
That's the real question here. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
insist on sexualizing? Huh?
Asking the
Like
real
really?
questions.
That's actually the real problem here. Why do you insist on sexualizing it?
Mm-hmm.
There's already sex. Why do you care
Yeah.
so much about who you're having sex with?
True.
Right? Like those are the questions. Why A, why do you have to sexualize it? B, why do you care who their partners are?
Right.
I mean, honestly. Um, it's just annoying.
Yeah.
But I mean like it's hilarious too, because I'm just like, you must be miserable.
Right. Oh my God.
Gotta be a miserable person. Um,
Facts.
right? So there's a new commenter, and they say, "Bold of Nobu to assume Takumi cares about Hachi's happiness." Whoa.
Really?
I think that Takumi does care about Hachi's happiness. I just think he doesn't know how to show that he cares.
Yeah?
Because Takumi doesn't do anything he doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Takumi does not do anything he does not want to.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Now, does he do it in good ways? That's another
Debatable.
conversation, right? Does he do it in like a moral way or I wouldn't say an ethical way. I think that Takumi is actually pretty ethical. But like does Takumi do the things he wants or doesn't want in a healthy way? There we go. No.
Mm-hmm.
Not always. But Takumi doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
And that's something like I'm pretty certain of. Sam says, I'm confused. Did someone make the graffiti for Nana and Hachi saw it and covered it up? Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Leah comments and is like, someone wrote that for Nana Osaki. Hachi got mad and covered it up. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we have another new commenter who says, who did that?
We don't know.
Who did what?
Who did,
Somebody
who
responded with Hachiko. Somebody responded with Hachiko.
I think they're talking about the graffiti. Like I
Uh,
think maybe they were
or
asking
they're
like
talking
who
about Hachiko the troll.
I don't know. Oh, too many puppies. There's too many dogs in this room.
There's actually likes on these comments, and I'm like, who did what?
Who did what? Are you talking about the graffiti? Because we never find out who wrote that graffiti.
I guess. I don't know. But then the last comment is Leah and says, Hachi girl boss standing up for Nana. Love to see it.
Yeah. Female love. It's great.
Right?
Like women supporting women,
Empowering, encouraging, and loving our friends. Oh,
Yes.
novel, I tell you. Jeez. So yeah,
Actually,
that was chapter
yeah.
35.
I didn't think about that until just now. This is like one of the only
Only?
represent yeah,
Yes.
only yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Like the about I'm about to say it's the only one I can think of in the early thousands of women,
Being friends.
yeah, supporting each other, actually loving each other. No freaking like boy drama or
No boy drama. They're not battling either. They're not
no.
having to be strong girls. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, they're allowed to be girls.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, showing like female friendship,
Yes.
even though like, they're kind of idiots, but like it's still happening.
They're 20 years old. Of
No,
course
I
they're
know.
idiots.
Like, you know what I'm saying though? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even read new manga because like I can't because it's written for an American. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Um, I try, but uh,
Hmm.
but like
Mm-hmm.
there. I mean, like I've looked up. I have a whole list of manga that are supposedly like Nana because it is its own
Yeah.
brand of, I guess, manga. Let me see if I saved it. Manga.
Like slightly sapphic, very, very involved, twisty
It's
storylines.
no. It like realistic emotional manga,
Ah,
right? It does have a type, and I can't remember the type, but the type name is specifically for young adults.
like slice of life?
No.
No.
Name for manga young adult specific, maybe? This was months ago on my last computer that I had all this saved.
Oh no.
So cool. I'm so cool. Oh, it's called Sheinen. Seinen.
I
Seinen. Seinen. or maybe this is okay, this one says that it's marketed towards young adult men. So like there's one that's targeted towards young adult women. Let's put young adult women and see, because there's like the gender binary in the language.
Hmm.
Shoujo. It's like the next step up from shoujo.
Shonen?
So shonen
No.
is the boy version,
Yeah. Seinen versus shonen.
right? And then there's like the girl version where shoujo is for young girls, and then there's the one for young adult women.
Um, is it on here? No. Shoujo and then
Oh,
yeah.
Josie.
Josie. Yeah, I'm like,
Josie.
what the?
That's what it is. Josei. There we go. I found
Yeah.
it. So Josie, let me put in Joe because this is how I looked it up last time. Like
Josie.
Nana. And I got like a whole list, and like I've been meaning to, add it to my forever reading list. To see if there's any others that are like a friendship. You know what I mean? I know there. See, the thing is I know that they're like that Ayazawa's work is standalone, right? And like
Hmm.
that's where we hit like a fork in the road with like we're never gonna find anything like Yazawa's work that's not Yazawa's, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like something on this list is You're My Pet. I've read that. Um, Another one is what is this one? 3D Material. I think I've read 3D Material. I have not read Solanin. Um, but that doesn't fall into Josie specifically. I've read Peach Girl. It's terrible.
Yeah, I have volume one of Peach Girl because it's a nostalgia thing for me, but it's
It is a nostalgia thing, but I like here's the thing, okay? Like getting used to Yazawa's art was actually really hard for me.
mm-hmm.
Did not love her art in the beginning. I almost didn't read Nana because I don't I don't particularly like the eye style that she draws, which was really big in like the 90s,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes like I really don't I still don't. It's still not aesthetically pleasing for me.
Ah.
Right? Like it's something that definitely grew on me, and it's because I love the story so much that it's like when you
Hmm.
love something, all of it.
Yeah.
Othello is another one, but that falls into shoujo too. Let's see. But yeah, like I there isn't anything really like it. Parakiss is always on the list.
That's the Yazawa.
Exactly. That's my point. And that's always the number one, like recommended or suggested from reading Nana, read Parakiss. And it's like, yeah,
Right?
like,
Like, of course.
huh? Yeah, exactly. Mars. I tried to read Mars. Mars is again that face style I don't like. So I mean there's that. But that's very much for that time period. I've never read Cat Street, and this one's recommended a lot.
Hmm.
Um oh, this one looks cute. It is a romance though. But I mean like Nana still falls into a romance category.
Hmm.
Uh this one is called Tomodachi no Hanashi.
Hmm.
It says, let's see, Kazun has a long experience writing slice of life, while Aja has worked mainly in shoujo drama. So it's a collab.
Yeah.
It's about these two girls who form a friendship, regardless of how much it is tested, remains strong even when boys come into the mix. The girls remain loyal to each other. Besides that, their personalities are exact opposites. It sounds like they kind of just okay. Anyway, the girls were, let's see. Mo is beautiful, outspoken, firm. Iko is insecure, sweet, and messy. I mean, it sounds like, okay. It reminds us of Nana and Hachi, right?
Yeah. Right.
You ever wonder how these two would have been together if they met in their school days this manga is good recommendation for you. The soft and rounded graphic style, especially the color pages, conveys a warmth. I'm gonna see if I can find a scan of this. That sounds really cute.
Yeah. I'm looking up my own like list over here too, and I'm like, Pet Shop of Horrors falls under
I love
this.
Pet Shop of Horrors. I have some of the VHS tapes of the anime.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
Oh.
yeah. So like looking for realistic emotional manga like Nana that deals with heavy topics. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nana talk.
Oh
Nana
no.
talk.
What does it say?
Just no, it's just like suggest like recommendations from TikTok.
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay, on Goodreads, best Josie manga. There's like 100 plus. Nana Paradise Kiss, Nodame Cantabile, Tramps Like Us, which yeah, I've read that one. Oh, Honey and Clover. I don't think that's like Nana. I guess these are just I wouldn't even put that as a Josie, honestly. Bride of the Water God, Princess Jellyfish. I loved Princess Jellyfish. It's so cute.
Yeah, I saw that one on here. I'm like, I've seen it about. I
I
think the
loved
title's
it.
cute and the art's really cute
Bunny Drop
looking.
is also really cute. Bunny Drop is really cute. I read all of them. I can't remember. I don't think I bought them. I think I just checked them out at the bookstore when I worked there. Pet Shop of Horrors is on the list. I think it's just because of its like rating.
Hmm.
Because and it is actually leaned towards like a female audience or
Hmm.
a femme audience, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then it's so I think that's why. Desire Climax. Excuse me.
That's redundant.
Uh, the Inner Chambers. Butterflies, Flowers, Deep Love. Oh, this is a very long, extensive list. This is like all of them that have been translated, essentially. Doll, I read that one. Mars is on
Yeah.
here.
I have 177 pages on the site that I'm on.
Goodreads.
Anime Planet.
Oh, okay. I'm on Goodreads. It found a list, I guess. Compiled a list. I don't know.
Yeah, this
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 is
one's same.
Deep Sex. I read that. Terrible.
Terrible.
A lot of them are. I mean, like a lot of like mature manga from that time period were just being pumped out, right?
Hmm.
And then the ones that could actually make it here, like be translated and published.
I don't I don't know what this well I could read it, but like the cover for Otherworld Barbara is really pretty.
A lot of these also, though, I remember downloading as torrents.
Back in our
Back
day. Yeah.
back in the days of Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Ugh. But anyway, yeah, no, there's nothing like Nana. Like
Mm-mm.
that's just the conclusion. Because like it would
Fair.
also like I don't know, I feel like maybe someone could make something like Nana today, but in order to do that, it would have to be something that pushes like let's see, Nana pushed like social topics,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like that's the big thing is like the talk of birth control.
Yeah.
So openly out the fucking gate in the time that it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't know.
Like what would you push the barrier of today
There's I
where
don't
it's not already blown up?
yeah,
Where
everything's already.
right? And like that's the thing is it was a hush hush. Those were hush hush topics.
Mm-hmm.
Still at that time. We don't really have things that are hush hush topics now.
No. Only thing we I don't I have no idea.
Skip Beat, Skip Beat.
I remember Skip Beat.
I'm still part of a Skip Beat Facebook group that's very active.
Nice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm kind of sorry. I'm over here like really kind of digging this list too because I'm just like, oh, and you gave me the year it comes out, which is very helpful because that means I can stay in the realm of like I don't know, not
Yeah,
modern stuff that's geared towards Western audiences. I don't want that shit. Give me the
right.
weird stuff.
Well, like that's the thing is I don't. That's the other part, right? Is I don't know. It's like just it being like edited or changed or parts of it written specifically for the American audience. I it changes its meaning a lot. I mean, like one of my favorite examples to date is when one of the times that I was watching Fruits Basket season 1, the original season 1.
Mhm.
I had the dubbing on and the English subtitles on, and they are not the same. It's one of my favorite
No.
things to do. Not the CC, but the English subtitles. It's one of my favorite things to do. Um, is to turn them both on and notice the translation differences
Right.
because they are different. And the way I think it was the part where Snake Dude,
Oh, Ayame.
Ayame, Ayame and Toru are like sitting on the roof or something, and they're talking about um I know all of their names. This is gonna like this is bothering me already. So they're talking about Catboy, and
Yo, yo.
yes, okay, so they're talking about Catboy, and on the roof, and they're talking about God,
Hmm.
talking about his curse, and the translation was so radically different when they were talking about God,
Yeah.
just radically different, and that bothers me. Like to just blanket over like this whole conversation of the curse and Shinigami and what that is and breaking down like the philosophy around like their house and what that looks like and for the English dubbed version to just be like God. It took out
Mm.
all of the complexity.
It's well, I guess that speaks to us as a culture and how like they only understand the Jesus. So
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of like even like we only have one word for love, right? Like the English language is very homogenized, and that's why, and very like simplified, and we have a hyper focus on nouns, right?
yeah.
Just a
And
huge focus on nouns. And so we're always looking for new words to describe things because we've stripped away all of the verbs and all of the autonomy and all of the life, even from our language, right?
mhm.
So it's like, oh, talk about love. Well, there's no different types of love. You get one type of love, and that's sex. And we talk about like spirituality. We talk about the gods or presences or daemons or whatever, format. And it's like, no, no, you don't get that. You get one thing. You get God. You get Sky Daddy. Just one Sky Daddy too. Not lots of them, just one. Um,
Just one.
and it's just like it's irritating, right? It's just super like don't change it. Just like translate it to be what it is.
Mhm.
Translate it to be what it is, and then, maybe people won't be so dumb. Unskilled. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Unskilled. Unskilled. Here we are again.
Full circle.
Full circle.